Hello, and welcome everybody officially to the Latinas in Public Relations virtual book launch. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're joining us from the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, welcome. We are so thankful you made time out of your busy day to join us in this magnanimous celebration of launching Latinas in Public Relations. My name is Gabby Hernandez-Franch, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. I am also the Chief Operating Officer of Fig Factor Media, the official publisher of Latinas in Public Relations, and I'm thrilled to welcome you in this celebration today. I'm super privileged because today we get to hear from 15 amazing ladies from different careers in the public relations industry who came together for the first ever anthology about Latinas in public relations. Talk about trailblazers. I am so thrilled to have you all join us, and I want to make sure that today is an interactive, engaging event. So please make sure to be active in the comments, sharing with us where you're from, where you're joining us from, who you are here to support and celebrate with us. So please ensure you be active in the comments tonight. I also want to additionally thank our partners for this event, Olin Technology, our tech team, and Fig Factor Media for making this event possible. We always need partners to make us look good, feel good, and all of the above. So thank you so much for our partners for that wonderful support and engagement. Having said that, I want to officially thank and welcome our sponsor for this magnanimous event, MVW Communications. MVW Communications is a national award-winning boutique PR firm that can work as your complete outsourced communication department, internal team strategic support, or project-based consultants. Thank you so much for our sponsor for making this event possible. Having said that, I am thrilled and in a privileged position to be your MC today, as mentioned. I want to start off with bringing someone to stage who is very important to not only us and our team, but for this wonderful and magnanimous event and celebration that we are here with today. Jacqueline Camacho Ruiz is the CEO of JJR Marketing and our publisher, Fig Factor Media, an international book publishing company, and also is the founder of Fig Factor Media Foundation, creator of today's Inspired Latina book series, International Movement. She's the author of 31 books, an international speaker and pilot. Jackie speaks to hundreds of audiences about marketing, servant leadership, finding your passion, achieving success in business, and many more. She's addressed the United States Army, Airbus, BP International, and many other corporations and organizations sharing her inspiration. She's been featured in many news sources such as Webs, Forbes, Inc. magazine, Univision, Telemundo, to name a few. Jackie has a wonderful message in store for us today, showcasing and giving an incredible endorsement for today's wonderful event and book celebration of Latinas in Public Relations. Please hear this clip from Jacqueline today.
Communications. Communications is one of the greatest skills of the humankind. Now imagine bringing together a group of amazing women, all Latinas, that are experts in this field. Communications that provoke action, that activate hearts and minds, to create change, to create movements. Communications experts that have paved the way for thousands and thousands of people through the organizations and nonprofits they assist. Today, we celebrate them. We celebrate their stories. We celebrate their bravery, and we celebrate their skill set, the skill set that has proven valuable for their communities and beyond. Latinas in PR is the first ever collection of stories of Latinas in communications. And today, as a proud CEO of Fig Factor Media, who has elevated thousands of stories around the world, I am proud to say that I love to be here to create this moment in time and celebrate each and every one of them. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your stories, amazing, incredible authors. Thank you for everything you do day in and day out to make an impact in the lives of all those around you. And thank you for sharing your talent with the world. Today, we celebrate you and we celebrate the official virtual launch of Latinas in PR.
Thank you so much to Jackie for that incredible message, and we could not agree more. What an amazing group of Latinas we have today for our Latinas in PR celebration. And she's so right how communication, connection, community is all part of their network, of their force, of their talents. And so thank you so much, Jackie, for that message. And we cannot be more excited to begin the program and introduce this fabulous group of women who we have the pleasure of working with and celebrating today. Having said that, I'm so thrilled and honored to welcome the creator and founder of Latinas in PR book, Melissa Vela Williamson. Melissa Vela Williamson is an accredited, internationally recognized public relations strategist, national industry columnist, podcast host, and author. For over 2 decades, she has provided strategic public relations counsel, professional communication services, and shared leadership guidance with over 100 brands, educating, equipping, and empowering diverse audiences ranging from children to CEOs. Melissa serves as a consultant, trainer, and account director at her boutique PR firm, MVW Communications. With unique experience in employee communications and DEI, Melissa leverages her PR expertise and acumen as a certified diversity professional to create social good. She represents only 750 PR professionals nationwide who have earned her elite PRSA College of Fellows credential. Her first book, Smart Talk, Public Relations Essentials All Pros Should Know, was published in October of 2020 and quickly became an Amazon bestseller. And her second book, Latinas in Public Relations, Shaping Communications, Communities, and Culture, is launching officially today virtually and very soon in person to coincide with Women's History Month. How amazing is that? Please help me welcome Melissa. Welcome.
Hi, thank you all for attending today. My heart is just pounding because I am so proud to publish the first ever Latinas in Public Relations anthology and elevate these PR leaders from across the nation so their stories can inspire people around the world. Research shows that Latinas can face unique cultural and workplace challenges that may hold us back from working in or advancing in public relations. But these 14 authors have joined me to share how we made our way into PR and how we've shaped the industry, our communities, and the understanding of culture in this very easy to read collection. So I hope readers will see themselves in our stories and be encouraged to persevere towards their own vision of success.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Melissa. What an amazing project that you truly have spearheaded in this book. And you've connected so many women to be part of this as well. So please, you became brought into this world of publishing and more.
Yeah, absolutely. I am just thrilled to bring more sisters from the public relations profession and from my Latinidad culture along with me. The numbers of pros of Latinas in public relations is not where it should be. And it's neither that in publishing either. And some of the lived experiences I've been through and they've been through have really showed us that part of what we need to do is rally together as a sisterhood, support each other, and network our way forward. So I'm really excited to have the book with me and for us to tell you a little bit more about it here today, Gabby.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Melissa, for your words. And thank you for putting this together, this incredible cohort of women who, just like yourself, are so talented, so poised, and such industry experts that now get to showcase their talents and their expertise in this really digestible, amazing book. So thank you so much, Melissa, for that. And we are super excited to hear more from the wonderful women that are participating in this book. So thank you for that. And we are excited to welcome our first author. Our first author that we get the opportunity to hear from today is Rachel Benavides. Rachel Benavides is a formal journalist turned public relations and marketing professional who brings more than 25 years of experience to her role as Vice President of Communications and Strategy for VIA Metropolitan Transit in San Antonio. The local PRSA chapter named her PR Professional of the Year in 2023, and in 2024 elected her president to lead in 2025. She's a Rio Grande Valley native who has lived in San Antonio since 2008, with roles as editor-in-chief at San Antonio Magazine and city editor at the San Antonio Express News. Wow, please help me welcome Rachel. And Rachel, please tell us a little bit about what is in your story.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gabby. And thank you, Melissa, for setting the table on this wonderful conversation and inviting us all to be part of it. My story really is, I think, one that a lot of professional women can resonate with in terms of finding my path and then coming to a point where I learned to make my own opportunities. A lot of professional women, especially Latina women, have experienced doing this. I share my story from a time when I was called home to take care of my mother who had become ill. I know a lot of daughters, certainly firstborn daughters, have the experience of having to step in and be strong and serve the family, something that I was proud to do. And looking back on now was a pivot point for my life and career that I didn't realize was happening. I've had to take 3 jobs as a college student, and one of those jobs was typing obituaries at the local newspaper. That part-time job turned into a career in journalism that spanned 15 years, including being editor-in-chief of that newspaper and the first Latina to hold that position in 111 years of the newspaper's publication, something I'm very proud of. And I say that as a moment of reflection because that was when I realized that I could be the first, but I was not meant to be the last. And that's true for every opportunity that we come across as professionals, as Latinas, in public relations or in any field. Be the first, but not the last is a section in my story where I talk about opening the door for yourself and then reaching back and making sure that the people coming up in that profession, in that industry, in your company, in your office, have the same types of opportunities and help them to realize those opportunities and the success that you've had. There was a point in my journalism career where I talk about making the pivot to public relations. And I've spent just as much time now in PR and communications as I did in journalism, about half and half. So I really am sort of a blend of both. And what I realize, and I've spoken with some of the authors as we are on this journey together, is that really it's an evolution. I see it as an evolution of a career in communications. And this field that we're all in so many different disciplines and different things that we do for the communications field. And I talked about how I took all of the things that I learned as a journalist and I brought them into PR and communications. And I talk a little bit about how that first year went and that first job in PR went. And I hope that some people will say, oh God, that happened to me too. Being in my first big meeting and saying, yeah, I've got the project now. What is it again? And sort of being open and vulnerable and wanting to learn about this new field that I've really, really embraced and that has brought me a lot of success and has introduced me to so many good people and professionals who are teachers and mentors and folks that I continue to learn from, including everyone here on this call. I talk a lot about my, adoration of Lois Lane and how that took me into my journalism career and eventually realizing sort of that success and then understanding that what Lois represents is a lot more. She's a truth teller. She shines a light and she advocates. And I feel like in my journey from journalism to PR, we keep that and that sentiment and those goals of wanting to shine a light and to advocate and to, at the heart of it all, tell good stories, tell our community stories, and move our issues and messages forward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rachel. That was incredible. I love that you said your inner Lois Lane. I think everyone in journalism can definitely relate to that and how powerful it is and how stories are so open wide. So thank you so much for your words. Thank you. Our next author is Anais Viera Miracle. Anais Viera Miracle has over 20 years of experience in communications with expertise in litigation, public relations, crisis communications, and nonprofit leadership. Anais is the Chief Communications Officer for one of the largest Latino-led nonprofit organization in the United States. Anais lives in Austin with her husband and her daughter. Anais couldn't be here with us today, but we want to make sure we honor her in this space and make sure to pick up the book so you can read her incredible and inspiring story. So thank you so much, Anais, for being a contributing author for us. Our next author who is here with us today is Carmen Boone. Carmen Boone serves as a vice president of public affairs at Food Bank for New York City, amassing decades of experience in crafting strategic communication strategies and spearheading social impact and advocacy initiatives. As a first-generation immigrant from Venezuela and a Fulbright scholar, Carmen has contributed to various New York City government agencies, tackling outreach challenges and managing crisis communications that provide critical service to millions. Welcome, 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 Carmen. And please tell us a little bit about what we can find in your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. I wanted to just take 2 seconds to thank FIC Media and Jacqueline and her team, and also Melissa and my fellow authors on this project. It's been an amazing experience. I also want to acknowledge 2 Latinas in PR and communications who I speak about in my essay, and they are my unsuspected mentors. And unfortunately, they passed away a few years ago. So I wanted to make sure to mention them in this essay, but also in this presentation. My piece is intentionally semi-biographical because I wanted to really pinpoint various moments in my life, in my past life, my past career, during the last 20 years, and the reflections that came with that, right? So, and I also I knew I just had a feeling that some of these reflections were going to be helpful to people in our community of PR, communications, marketing, and public affairs. The first moment that I highlighted in my essay is my journey from growing up in the south of Venezuela in an industrial town, and from that to moving to New York City on a Fulbright grant many years ago. And that experience of moving to a city like New York City with a big media market and communications and marketing market without a network. I left my network in Venezuela, so I had to rebuild that here, and I also had to reinvent myself. The second moment I highlight is that I faced a lot of rejections during the early time of my career, and how that kind of like made me reflect on the need that I needed to have to be more adaptable and more flexible in this in this profession, right? So I don't think I was like that when I was younger. And also I speak about the unsuspected mentors because this is something that I want to do more now. This is a moment in my career that I want to do more mentoring. So for me, like when I was younger, I thought I didn't have any mentors, but I did. And those were kind of like people that we didn't plan it, right? We didn't plan to be mentees or mentors, and they gave me a lot. And I speak about those two of these women, both of them Venezuelan, and both of them back when I was working in Venezuela during my first couple of jobs. And so yeah, that's one aspect. And the other one is something I don't really, this is the first time I speak kind of in public in such a platform about my bilingualism with an accent. This is something that I hadn't really embraced before, and meaning like speaking about it and just kind of like having a reflection on what that has, what I have become because of that, and then having that kind of like accent and how I use that also to bridge gaps and also to build more representation of people with accents in some of the spaces I have been at. And also I have to talk about, like my public service communications life, right? It's been, I've been working in various crises in New York City, taking care of many communities, but of course, informing and making sure that I build culturally appropriate content for the Hispanic communities, especially kind of like new immigrants and people with language barriers. So that has really been kind of like the core of my work. And the last one is like, I emphasize on the importance of cultivating a network, not only for everything that you want to do, but also like, major projects like moving to another country like I did. So that's my story, and I hope everybody likes it, and very happy to answer any questions about it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmen, for your enthusiasm, your passion. Your story, I'm sure, is so inspiring, and so many people can relate to being an immigrant and everything that you shared right now. So thank you for that, and I appreciate your time. Our next author that we have is Jill Casey Pintor. She is a PR communications professional with experience spanning more than 2 decades across several industries, including television, nonprofit, entertainment, and finance. She currently works as a financial content writer at Street Cred PR and has served 3 terms as ethics chair on the PRSA Southern Arizona Chapter Board of Directors. Please help me welcome Jill. Jill, please tell us a little bit about what we can find in your story in the book. Welcome.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. First of all, I just wanted to really thank Melissa and Fig Factor and all my fellow authors. This has been a great experience. I shared with Melissa previously that she came into my life at the absolute best possible moment that she could have. I was at a crossroads in my career and in my life. I had just lost my mother after having cared for her hands-on for several years. And I also recently had just made a very difficult decision to step away from a career that I loved and that I had just poured everything into for over 2 decades. And so this opportunity presented itself when I was just trying to figure out what that next chapter in my life was going to look like. And it's funny how therapeutic it can be to just sit down and put down on paper some of your life story, right? The challenges that you've experienced, what you've overcome, and just kind of get that together to remind yourself of what you're capable of. And that really just helped restore my sense of self. It restored me back to my best possible self that I hadn't seen in quite a long time, just reflecting. And that's what you'll find in some of my stories. I grew up in Douglas, Arizona, on the border of Agua Prieta, Sonora, Mexico, and the United States. And obviously, I don't really look Hispanic. And so I had some challenges early in life to overcome. And during those days, we weren't allowed to speak Spanish. It was highly discouraged. So I didn't pick up the language as well as I should have. Now, later on in life, I went on to work for Telemundo and I had the opportunity to practice it. But there were several points in my life where I just didn't know how I was going to get through. But one thing about me is that I always decided that I would be in charge of my destiny. And that's really what you'll find in my stories. It's a series of challenges that I encountered, overcame, and just the deliberate decision that I made to just stay focused so that I could fulfill my dreams. And I hope that my story will inspire some of the others. And I'm really in awe at some of the stories that I'm reading from some of my fellow authors.
Thank you so much, Jill, for that wonderful sneak peek about your story. I can definitely relate to some of that, and I know so many of our readers will as well. So thank you so much for that. Our next author that we have is Lily Cortez Wyatt. Lily is the founder of Socios PR, an integrated communications firm known for its expertise in multicultural strategies and cultural competence. Drawn from her journalism background, Lily leads a team with over a century of combined experience delivering tailored, human-centered communication solutions. With a commitment to diversity and thought and approach, Lily offers insights that are intersectional, socially conscious, and environmentally aware, empowering clients to connect authentically with diverse audiences. Welcome, Lily. Please tell us what our readers can expect from reading your story.
Hello, everybody. I am so grateful that we all decided to use Cortez and not Wyatt because I'm usually last. So thank you for that. I'm just honored to be in this virtual launch. I wish I can see all of you in person, those that are joining us virtually across the country, and obviously my fellow authors, because I'm a hug collector. I love just, embracing people and just sharing how much I appreciate partnerships and developing relationships. In my story, I share precisely that. I share a bit about my background as a journalist. I always wanted to be a reporter. When I was a little girl, I dreamt of being a war reporter or a disasters reporter, to be in the front lines talking about the chaos that ensued after, either man-made disasters or natural-made disasters. But my career, started in journalism. I went from an internship position all the way to developing and the first of its kind lifestyle entertainment shows, leaving as an executive producer for ABC, the ABC affiliate in Sacramento. I had the most wonderful career in news, but there was a time in my life when I knew that I wanted to stay in Sacramento, and I knew that being in that industry would not really fulfill my life dreams. And, I wanted to be honestly make a little bit more money. So I pursued a career as a communications professional, working for the Governor's Office of Emergency Services, where I quickly learned what I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, you're in journalism and you think that you know a lot of things. And yes, there's a lot of things that you can apply in PR after being in the newsroom. But then there were also so many things that I was like, that piqued my interest about communications, about crisis communications, risk management, planning, the importance of planning, that I just fell in love with PR, and I decided to help with media relations and just really dig deep into the industry of public relations. Fell in love with it because of my passion for PR. I was appointed quickly to lead the emergency management delegation for former Governor Brown, and it was such an eye opener. That also taught me that I did not want to focus on public affairs. I wanted to continue to build a grassroots. Of the 12 functions of public relations, public affairs wasn't going to be one of them. So there were a lot of things that I learned early in my PR career, and then at one point I decided to because I saw that there was an opportunity for people like me that look like me, and that, just like Carmen said, that there were not many accents in the room, and I was born here, but I've always had an accent. So I share that in my book about how my accent made me so self-conscious, and I felt like I wasn't smart enough because I had an accent. So I shared in the story how sometimes we put in our brains things that are not true, and then that then exemplifies into our actions. So I just want to share with the readers that let's get rid of our limiting beliefs. Let's get rid of our self-consciousness and really show up for our authentic selves, and show up for the care and passion that we have for our industries and our community. And I hope that people can relate to this story. And I love making connections. I love building relationships. And at the end of the day, PR is about helping shape narratives and also change behavior. I like to concentrate on work that does good for our communities, and specifically our Hispanic community in the country.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lily, for that insightful message. And your story sounds just as inspiring as all of them. So thank you for your time. And we are excited to continue on. Thank you, Lily. Our next author that we have is Brenda Duran. Brenda Duran is a seasoned media and communication specialist with over a decade of impactful service in Los Angeles County. Currently the Director of External Affairs for the LA County Justice Care and Opportunities Department, she has excelled in expanding social media presence, launching successful multimedia campaigns, and crafting strategic messaging for key public programs. With a journalism degree from USC Annensberg School, Brenda's career spans government communications and print media, showcasing her expertise in driving outreach and innovation across diverse platforms. Brenda, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about what our readers can find in your story as well.
Hi, thank you for having me. And like all of the other authors, I want to thank Melissa and Fake Factor Media for putting this book together. One of my favorite quotes is has always been, the world is not made up of atoms, it's made up of stories. And I think all of us sharing our stories is going to be an incredible way to inspire a new generation of storytellers. So I'm very excited to be part of this project. My story in the book really focuses on several themes, and really the themes of self-discovery, finding your way through detours, and connecting the dots. And I have been able to do that. I, like many of the authors here, started my career as a journalist, and I made my way into being a communication specialist and public relations specialist through a number of detours and experiences that have really shaped me on a professional level. And as a first generation trailblazer, you'll find in my story that oftentimes we are always looking to, have a roadmap or a guide as to how to navigate a career. And oftentimes those answers will not reveal themselves until you have to go through certain experiences in life. And as a first generation, especially communication specialist, a lot of those things I am looking to really share in my story in the book. And also I want to inspire other people to feel, open to share their challenges, just like I do in the book, about finding your voice, finding meaning in the detours that you'll have to take during your career. And also oftentimes knowing that those challenges that you often face will lead you to one of the most exhilarating experiences of your life that you might not see until you connect the dots later on in life. So that's some of the highlights from my chapter in the book. And I really hope, like the other stories here, that most of the people who read the book will feel inspired, no matter if you're in public relations or in another career, because I think all of us bring a very interesting and unique perspective to, this theme of Latinas in public relations.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for your words. And I completely agree. I think sometimes the detours in our life are what takes us into new directions that we never expected. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Our next author that we have is Amelia Torrell Folks. She is an accredited PR professional and strategic communicator with a vision and passion for helping brands position themselves for growth. She has more than 18 years of experience in public relations and thought leadership, supporting a variety of clients in the fields of technology, government, B2C and B2B, financial services, and nonprofit sectors. Please help me welcome Amelia. Welcome. Please tell us a little bit about your story in your chapter in this book.
Thanks. I am so happy to be here with everybody. And like everybody, there's always someone you want to thank. And of course, we want to thank Melissa and Fig Factor. But I have a special thank you for someone who truly, this opportunity would not have happened for me. And that's Audrey Ponzoy from APC Collective. She was my inspiration and basically the one who shoved me to do this. And that's actually the theme in my story. It's my story is really about a journey that didn't even actually start in public relations. It started in public policy. But then I was moved into this space through happenstance and things that happened in my winding road of my career, which I won't share very much so that you have to read my chapter to learn more. But I think the theme or the through line in all my story is that everywhere I went and every obstacle or every challenge I always had another Latina pushing me or encouraging me or even challenging me to do something that I wasn't quite ready to do, or I didn't think I had, the thing that I needed to have to do. And it turns out that maybe I did, and I just needed that shove, or I needed to be put into the right lane of my road to my career. And so just like everyone here, our stories are really important. And I think for me, it's really about creating an ally group of women, of Latinas who really can support you. And that's something I talk a lot about in my book as well. because I want people to know how important it is to have, I call it your advisory council that supports you and goes around. I also talk a lot about my path was never direct or straight. It was a winding road. I studied public policy. I ended up in public relations. I was in B2B and then B2C and nonprofit. So I had a lot of changes throughout my career, and that's okay. A lot of people think you have to have a trajectory and you have to know what you want to do, or you're not going to meet a certain goal. And I think in my story, you'll find that it's okay if you have a fork in the road or a different lane you have to turn in. And sometimes the allies or the advisory council, as I like to call them, in your world will push you into the right lane. And you'll be surprised for your own experiences as well as what you can achieve.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Amelia. Your words are very inspiring. We hope the readers get to also hear more about your story in the book. This is a great opportunity as well to just thank everyone for joining us again. And if you are watching us, please ensure to be commenting, sharing any insights, any nuggets that are sticking out to you. Our authors will be so happy to hear your words from our audiences. So please ensure to stay engaged, and hopefully you're enjoying the amazing program that is happening here with our authors. Our next author that we have is Jeanette E. Garcia. Jeanette Garcia is the Director of Communications at UP Partnership, a San Antonio-based system change nonprofit organization. In the past, Jeanette was a reporter with the San Antonio Business Journal. She has more than a decade of communication, public relations, and marketing experience, having led these efforts for organizations like the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the City of San Antonio's Economic Development Department. Please help me welcome Jeanette. And Jeanette, please tell us and our audiences what we can expect from your inspiring chapter.
Yes, thank you, Gabby, and thank you, Fig Factor Media. First and foremost, I want to say that I am honored to be a part of this collective storytelling piece alongside all of these amazing women. I mean, I know it's definitely a page turner. I could not stop reading everyone's story and was super inspired by everyone. And I hope my story will give some wisdom for future Latina PR practitioners, just like I was given knowledge by Latino and Latina PR mavens before me, such as fellow authors, Dr. Lorraine Pulido, and my as well as Melissa Vela Williamson, and my mentor and great friend, Javier Flores, who truly taught me the ropes when I was starting my career and continues to be one of my sounding boards, alongside friends like Ian Cruz, Giselle Vasquez, Sergio Chapa, Veronica de la Torre, Brianna Dimas, and my team at Up Partnership as well, among many others. Now to answer your question, and I will be very brief because I definitely want people to read it. So in a nutshell, my story really centers around self-awareness and learning lessons of when you don't have the basics of public relations, down, such as garnering analytics or even how to properly pitch a national or international publication, and the lessons that go along with that. And in a world where we are very much into instant gratification, I have learned that sometimes you have to take a step back in order to move forward with more velocity and achieve success. So that's my chapter in a nutshell. I hope that you all read it, and I pass it along back to you, Gabby.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. I really appreciate that. What an incredible sneak peek, and we're looking forward to the rest. Our next author is Olga Mayoral Wilson. Olga Mayoral Wilson sees herself as a service leader providing service where it is most needed. She was born in Puerto Rico, a beautiful island in the Caribbean, which nurtured her to be who she is today. She's the youngest of 3 girls and has always loved reading and learning about cultures, their people, and customs. Through travel, education, and being exposed to so many experiences and locations, her thirst for knowledge, teaching, and mentoring is somewhat quenched. Wow, what a wonderful introduction. Olga, welcome, welcome. Please now tell us what we can find in your story and how we will be inspired.
First of all, thank you. It's so amazing to be with you and listening to every story, which I have read already, but getting it from you is amazing. I think we're all inspired by it. Thank you to FIC Media and to Melissa. I mean, it's been a great journey. I invite you to come with me and discover my experiences. Many of them are like you, similar. The accent, the not knowing if I'm good enough or not, all of that is part of our journey. And you think you're alone when you're going there. Um, but my journey started in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where I was already working in PR and managing clients, Fortune 500. Then from there, it goes to Honolulu, Hawaii, and I'll tell you why. And then to Washington, D.C., then back to Puerto Rico, and then to Texas. The Honolulu, Hawaii part was amazing and challenging. Why? Because I have an accent like many of you. Okay. So who's this woman coming from Hawaii? Wilson as a last name because of my husband. And then as a military wife, you encounter so many other challenges. But then the main thing is that one day comes after the other, and you reinvent yourself, you find your strength, and you do it better. So when I invite you to come with me to discover my experiences in PR and communications, they have the whole gamut of cultural perspective, DEI felt in myself and in others, learning more in Washington, D.C., in Congress, where I was working on behalf of our Hawaii, and then going back to San Juan, where I worked and sat at the C-suite. And that was quite amazing. After that, we came to Texas, and I taught students for 10 years. So it's amazing. The world goes around. We give back because we have that love to make people comfortable and getting to not go through many experiences and have models. So I hope you can all find inspiration in all of us and that we can share with the younger generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. Wonderfully said. And you never know where the journey will take you. It seemed like it took you in many directions and places, but it ultimately led you to where you needed to be. So thank you so much for that inspiring sneak peek. Our next author that we have joining us is Melissa Monroe Young. Melissa Monroe has worked in public relations for over 15 years, and prior to that was a journalist for another 15 years. She is very active in her community and mentors young students and young professionals. Please help me welcome Melissa. Welcome, Melissa. I'm looking forward to hearing your insights of what we can expect in your chapter.
Thank you. Thank you. So I am so very honored to be here with all these great women. I want to say thank you to Fig Factor, also Melissa Vela Williamson, my good friend. She gave me the opportunity to tell my story. And what is my story? It's about finding my voice, gaining confidence, and being comfortable in my own identity of being mixed race. My father is Black. My mother is Mexicana. So growing up, it was very challenging to find out not only who I am and how I want to identify, but also being in the communication field. There's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of different things you have to learn and challenges. And then also just navigating in the communication field, that confidence you need to have in order to tell someone else's story. So I hope readers learn from my part that we all have our own story to tell. And often for women of color, that means gaining confidence. That means being an advocate for others. And that means sometimes just faking it a little bit till you make it. And that's, I think, what makes us better in order to just be a better communicator, to be a better PR pro, and also to be mentors to others. Because You can't just make it in this career and not bring others up from behind who need your help as well. So I don't want to give a whole lot of information on what's, you got to read the book and you got to learn from all the other women and pros here on what it takes to be successful in this career, also how to be an advocate for others, and just to know that everyone is going through something, whether that's you need more confidence, maybe you're fighting through your own biases, maybe you're trying to get to that next level in your own career, but we're all going through the same thing. And I think this book will help readers understand that, just give them a little bit more motivation as well, that, we all experience it. So I just want to turn it back over to you. I am excited for the opportunity to be in this book, and I hope others will learn more on what they can do to get to that next level.
Wonderful. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you so much for that insight. I know I can definitely confirm that many readers will benefit from those nuggets that you're sharing, for that many established leaders like yourself and all of the other authors, their experience will inspire the next generation. So thank you for that. Our next author, who is not here today joining us physically, but she is very much present in the book, and her inspiring story is Dr. Lorraine Pulido. She is an award-winning PR professional and adjunct professor at Texas A&M University San Antonio, and has taught hundreds of students in her 24 years of teaching at various colleges. She was inducted into the San Antonio Women's Hall of Fame in 2023 and the Orlando Independent School District Hall of Fame in 2021. Thank you so much to Dr. Lorraine Pulido for your inspiring story in this book as well. Thank you. Our next author who is here joining us today is Iracema Romero. Iracema Romero is a seasoned internal communications advisor and leadership coach with more than 15 years of experience supporting leaders through transformative organizational changes. She currently leads in internal communications at Gong, an AI-powered revenue intelligence platform, and has a leadership coaching practice, All in Growth, focused on supporting early career leaders. Please help me welcome Iracema. Welcome, Iracema. Tell us now a little bit about what we can find in your own story and chapter.
Thank you. It's so great to be here and to celebrate everybody's story. This book is something I wish I would have had earlier in my career. When I started my career in PR, I didn't have many examples of Latinas in leadership or executive positions, definitely not at my company. And I was supporting those C-level executives early in my career as a 20-something-year-old right after grad school. But I'm an immigrant, I'm a first-generation professional, and I struggled to feel that sense of belonging, especially in a corporate environment. And all of that changed when I moved to Mexico City for a work assignment. I was there to establish and lead a new communications team there after my company acquired two companies and brought them together. It was such an exciting time for me, and living and working in Mexico, which is my native country. I was there for 3 years. That entire experience changed my perspective. It's almost like I came home to myself. It's also in that experience during that work project where I discovered my passion for internal communications. I have loved applying some of the principles that we learn in public relations to an internal audience. They are the biggest advocates for a company. And so I share a little bit about this journey in my chapter of the book, going back to Mexico, transitioning into internal communications, and what that has meant for me. Really, my goal with participating in this anthology is that hopefully my story, my experience as a first-generation leader will help resonate and support some of the work that many of you are doing, your own stories as you start your careers. You may be dealing with some of these similar experiences, dealing with self-doubt or uncertainty. And so I want to reassure assure you that there's so much goodness in this profession. And to Olga's point early on, we are not alone in this process. You have everybody that you just heard from today. We are so excited to continue to build and foster this community. And I can't wait really to hear how all of our stories continue to unfold. Thank you.
Thank you, Esema. Great message. It's totally true. You are definitely not alone. You all ladies are so brilliant and have such great expertise. And I know that anyone really reading the book, tuning in, is leaving inspired, because I know I definitely am. So thank you so much. Our next author that we have is Paola Vargas Strassner. Paola Vargas Strassner is a strategic communications and public affairs professional currently serving the Maryland state. She is a well-traveled, seasoned bilingual communications professional who specializes in the area of public affairs, strategic planning, and digital media. Paola, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about what we can find in your story and be inspired today.
Good afternoon, Gabby. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I want to, thank everybody who has been able to join today. I myself, I'm joining from the Trump City, Baltimore, but all of our fellow co-authors, we are all across the states. So thank you all. And thanks to Melissa for rallying us together. I am contributing with the Leading Starts With Your Mindset chapter, which includes my journey into media and public affairs and how I have transitioned from a career that started 20 years ago when I left Colombia to, relocating to the States. This beautiful country has adopted me. And through my journey, I, have overcome a lot of challenges, but with the goal in my own mind, I've been able to, accomplish what I really wanted to be, which is being a communications professional, working in English, because for me, that was my main goal when I first came to the country. I came in 2004 upon graduation from college. And I grew up in Bogota, Colombia. So I knew I wanted to go to communications and media. But of course, my dad say, wait a minute, not a journalist in Bogota. That doesn't happen. So, I was lucky to go in a program that offered like the 6 different fields that you can find in the career. And that was my way to be closer. And so I have an emphasis in audiovisual production. But once I was able to complete my school and move to the States, I found my way through media, and I worked for a newspaper, print media, radio, and TV in Central Florida. So I think where there's a will, there's a way. And while I was, at my early stages of my career, I found great mentors, which I credit and thank today. One of them was Bill Hansen, which was the first, he founded the first bilingual newspaper in Central Florida, which lives to today. And I was able to work with him as a marketing manager, but also assistant to the editor. And that's where my PR journey started. I didn't know I was already doing dual roles. This was back in 2005. And through that, position, I met a PIO. This is the story I will tell more in the book. So I hope all of you will enjoy it. I met, she was the first Latina public information officer of City St. Cloud in Florida. She was also a Puerto Rican and a Navy veteran. So that's when I heard the first time, the public affairs term. And then, I started to be more interested about that. Now, I've been, grateful and thankful to say I serve the state of Maryland as a public affairs officer. And because we mainly serve the public while representing our organization with trusted counsel, public affairs professional, we must be at the forefront of the profession, which requires a personal commitment and responsibility to advance our profession, our knowledge, and our skills. So my journey goes through that and how I became accredited, which was my second amazing mentor, also a lady, also a Navy retired professional who walked me through the accreditation process while I was finishing grad school. And yeah, so I shared 3 topics basically in the book. One is leading mindset, understanding and overcoming a victim mentality, which can take you into a negative or a positive outcomes. And the challenges, that all communications professionals need to work around and, be driven with purpose, truth, and ethically responsible, defying all the misinformation challenges and embracing new technological advances, which have helped me to be where I am today. And all of that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paula. I feel like you know your story best, and that is exciting how passionate you are to share more about what we can find in the book. So thank you for your time. I know we are all excited to continue sharing more, but that is why we're excited to post the link here in our chats and everywhere to make sure everybody gets the book so they could read all about these fascinating stories, including yours and so many more. So thank you so much, Paula, for your time. And I'm thrilled to bring our last author that is going to be joining us for this afternoon, and that is Marisol Vignola. Thank you, Marisol. She is a senior business development manager in the multicultural space at Orange 142. She is passionate about public relations, relationship building, marketing, tourism, and the promotion of her heritage and culture. Her superpowers include being bilingual, binational, and bicultural, a very proud Latina. Thank you, Marisol. Welcome. And I'm excited to hear your insights about what we can hear in your story.
Thank you, Gabby, for this kind of introduction. But I also want to thank you. I want to start thanking Melissa, Big Factor team, and of course, the amazing authors, and for inviting me to be part of this incredible, inspiring project. But I also want to give a huge shout out to Jill for recommending me to be part of this amazing, a dream that make a dream comes true. Jill, thank you so much. What a powerful way to elevate and support another Latina. So thank you so much. My journey is in public relations. It's a story about resilience, overcoming challenges, building strong relationships, working really, really hard, and also the importance of continuing education for Latinas, and plus, of course, staying true to myself and every experience that had shaped my life. So that's what I talk since I was how I discovered my passion for public relations, and how that experience, every single experience in every shape, shape my journey in the public relations. So and the love for sharing my journey is to inspire and connect with other Latinas, and encourage them to they own their place, they be part of the conversation, and make sure they are seen in the community, they are seen in the company they are working for, and they are part of the taking decisions in the table, like own the seat on the table. So I'm a proud Sonora Desert, or this from the Desierto Sonorense. I've been living in the U.S. since 2001, and when I came to the U.S., I was already an adult, and I didn't speak one single word in English. So first I came as an international student, and my journey has been building connections and community relations in the Sonora, between Mexico and Arizona region. I work from the embassy, consulate, and the tourism industry, which is helped me to shape and be proud of my public relations skills. Like I mentioned, I really passionate about the intersection and cross-cultural connections and community. And so this book is, for me, is even, I want to do my second book. I really want to be an author and keep inspiring the new generations of Latinas. And I want to invite you keep doing the same thing. And so let's keep elevating each other. So if you know one amazing project like this book, let's go and make it huge like this amazing book so we can keep inspiring more Latinas from the new generation. So thank you, everyone, and shout out everyone. My applause to every single of you authors.
Yes. Thank you so much, Marisol. Yes. A round of applause, right? To everyone, all the authors, everyone who joined us today. How inspiring and how fascinating to hear a little insight of all of these stories. I know the book is so powerful and it is going to be such a wonderful resource for so many communications professional, young and old, established and just starting. So thank you so much for those words, Marisol, and for everybody. So thank you. Thank you. Now I'm excited to transition, Melissa, into a quick question and answer section. So our audience, if you have a question for Melissa or any of our authors, please ensure to send your comment, your question in now. We will have a moment to answer some brief questions so that you can hear a little bit more about the authors themselves and Melissa, this incredible book that you created. Wow, you can see the impact that your contributing authors truly have made in their own lives, but I'm sure we'll continue making for all our readers. But Melissa, really brief, a question that I know we have for you is, what has been the greatest lesson you've learned in this process of publishing, but also within your context of this industry of communications and publishing goes hand in hand to storytell, to showcase something? What has been your biggest lesson?
You know, we talk a lot about giving people awareness of the industry, and that its own journey, that's its own challenge. The younger we can do it, the better. People want to feel like they belong. So seeing more people that they relate to, be it ethnicity, race, culture, where they live, what they like, all that's helpful in telling our stories and invite them into such an influential profession. But I would say, Gabby, one aha moment I've had during this I started this journey in June 2023, right? So it centers on one word. It's encouragement. What I realized, a lot of these women, even getting them to this table, took a lot of encouragement, right? I talked to over 100 Latinas working in public relations before we landed on these final 14 authors. And a lot of it was some of the barriers that we kind of grow up with. So part of our work is to encourage our peers and encourage those coming behind us that you belong here, you can do it, you're worth it. You may not get the support you need from your family or your direct connections in this professional journey, but that's what we're here for. And we need to build community so we can offer extra encouragement for Latinas that research and lived experience has shown me they need that piece of the puzzle fit.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that insight, encouragement. How true. I think that is so true in many aspects, but I'm sure in this role as well as this author, this project, this new endeavor that you took on. So how wonderful. Melissa, we actually do have a question from an audience member, from Alejandra. She said, how do you build relationships with the media? I'm sure that is a question you get many times as PR professionals, but what would you answer to that?
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other webinar for sure. But our journalist friends are just like any other professional friends out there. First is you want to be an ally. You have to do the good work of learning who they are, what they cover, what their needs are, what their demands are, right? It's a very dynamic industry they're in. It's very exhausting and taxing. They don't have a lot of control sometimes over what they cover, when they cover, how they cover. And so it's our job to be their ally and kind of stay current with them and see how we can be a real resource. So a lot of those how-tos I kind of cover in my first book, Smart Talk, PR Essentials All Pros Should Know. It's definitely an ongoing relationship commitment you have to make as a PR pro.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you said that any relationship always entails, some work. that professionalism and building those things, that rapport. So thank you. Great insight. Melissa, I know that as another question that came in is any personal learnings about writing your own chapter or reflections? Not sure what you have anything to say about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most of the authors here would tell you that it's a little painful. It can bring up some emotions in you that maybe you haven't explored. It can feel very vulnerable. I'll tell you right now, it's very scary. This is scary. We're all like, but doing it anyway really matters. And so I will tell people that, don't edit yourself when you're writing, right? Great creative writers just put it on the page. You can clean it up and make it perfect later, but we self-edit way too much in our own lives anyway. So some of the best writing I do, hint, Google Doc, talk to text, and I just talk it out. And then I clean it up and make it pretty for the page later. But what's really important is that you just document it. There's so many life lessons we've all went through that would help somebody else. And I would say that part of my learning, please read the introduction if you get a copy of the book, which we have an announcement on in just a second. But the reason I say that is because there's research that shows that women, because of some of the pressures we, are living in and grow up in, aren't really comfortable sharing their own stories. But on the flip side, women are very inspired reading and learning from other women's stories, right? So how can we help the girls that come behind us if we don't get a little vulnerable and share and document, some of the insights and advice we'd want, our girls to know? We wish we had known, like you said. So this is the book that I wish also I had at the beginning of my journey. I just got a message on LinkedIn, someone introducing themselves saying, I'm so excited to see ladies like me here. So we all belong and we want to support that.
Yes. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Everyone, please get the book. I know we're linking it here, but ensure to get it. And with that, I know, Melissa, you said a little sneak peek. We have a very special announcement as a special gift for your support. Dun, dun, dun. We have a very special promotion. The ebook of Latinas in Public Relations is actually now free through March 8th. So starting March today, 5th to the 8th, for 4 days, you can get a free copy of the ebook thanks to the generosity of our author, Anais. Thank you, Anais, for making this ebook accessible to all in this special way. So please make sure you can scan the QR code here directly or look up Latinas in Public Relations on Amazon. Make sure you get a copy of your book, one physically, so you can reference it, take notes, have that physical copy, but also if you want quick access, a gift as well to give, we have this free download. So please make sure to get your copy today. How wonderful and generous of you, Melissa, the team, to make these stories accessible, because not only, like you said, to inspire, but to really empower and encourage those next generation of PR professionals. So wonderful. I want to make sure, Melissa, before we move on to bringing perhaps all the authors back on stage so we can say hello, I want to make sure that we give you also, Melissa, time to say any final acknowledgments or any future plans for this book and this journey that you have just begun with these authors.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gabby. Wonderful job today. I know how hard this is on the back end. So thank you. And thanks, Big Factor Media and All in Technology, our partners here today. Thank you to our authors, right? This book wouldn't be possible without you. Some of you we hadn't even met before. So your trust in me is invaluable, and I hope to continue to earn it over time as we are now book sisters and authors together. And I hope that, everyone feels that we appreciate them. All of our sponsors that have contributed to this moment, the ones that are helping us do a wonderful in-person reception here in our hometown of San Antonio. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to travel the country with some of you all to share the stories, invite people to document and share theirs. So thank you all so much for being here and sharing your very valuable time with us today.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you to our authors. You guys all look brilliant. Beautiful woman here tonight with us celebrating. And we are also celebrating you, authors. It is now available, Latinas in Public Relations. Please get your copy. Connect with Latinas in PR. All of the wonderful authors, you can find them on LinkedIn, their websites, more communications and connections with them. So please make sure to connect with all of them. You all ladies look absolutely stunning. Thank you for being vulnerable, for sharing your story, and for being part of this wonderful mission. As I mentioned, the book is now available. Please get your copy. Please get your free download. Connect with all of these incredible ladies, and we will be in touch for next time, and hopefully maybe a volume 2 in the future, Melissa. Who knows? These inspiring stories. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be in touch and we'll catch you later. This was Latinas in Public Relations official virtual book launch. Thank you. Thank you. Have an incredible rest of your day.